This week on KCBY, we learn about how schools around the world differ from American schools.
We get a sneak peek into the accomplishments of student Gia and Johnny.
And we get an inside look at the boys' basketball team's preparation for the new season.
Hi, and welcome to our 8th KCBY show for the 2025 to 2026 school year. I'm Maya On.
And I'm Diksha Badam.
KCBY starts now.
Approximately 1 out of every 4 KCBY citizens was born outside of the U.S., and when it comes to education, the American school system is very different than many other school systems around the world.
Samantha talked to students who have moved to KCBY after living in different regions around the world. Michaela brings us the story.
CHS is home to many staff and students who come from various backgrounds. Many of these individuals have moved to KCBY after originally living in different countries with different educational environments. Navigating her first year in the U.S., sophomore Liv Christie explains the differences she has observed after starting school at CHS.
I live near London. It's a place called Essex. Some traditions that we don't have. We don't do any Texas pledges or any pledges or any flag things or anything like that. Everyone here in KCBY is so nice. Everyone's very welcoming. Definitely a change.
After living in many different countries around the world, CHS Junior Masuma Fatima provides intel on the differences in schooling systems.
I was born in Dubai and I lived there for almost 8 years, and then I moved to the UK where I lived in London, Wales, and Scotland. I grew up with the British schooling system, which is more formally known as the Cambridge schooling system, and what I've noticed about traditions here in American public schools is that there's a very, very high emphasis on extracurriculars, and I remember when I went to school, other than here, there was not that much of an emphasis on extracurriculars at all.
Natalie Daines, a French teacher at CHS, has lived the majority of her life in France. Ms. Daines provides insight on the structure of the education system in France and how the schools operate.
We moved in the United States in Missouri in 2003. I just found that the school system in the United States, it's much more welcoming. It's less strict than it is in France. The French system is very strict. It's no fun. We don't have fun. We go to school, we learn, and that's it.
For KCBY, I'm Michaela Arnold.
Despite beginning as a form of entertainment, pageants have evolved to serve as a platform for young women.
Gia Ajani, the 2025 Miss Salina teen title holder, aims to support her community through her passion for books. Preeti has a story.
Meet Gia Ajani, a CHS student who is passionate about pageantry, and with her recent win, she uses her position as Miss Salina Teen to help the community through her service initiative.
So a CSI is Community Service Initiative, and every title holder has a platform that they advocate for. The community has poured so much into me, and I want to give that back through my service initiative, growing minds one page at a time. One of my biggest goals through my CSI is to make sure that we're getting the community involved in youth reading and being able to get students who don't have access to books, have access to books, and foster their love of reading.
Through support and encouragement, Gia has gained confidence to accomplish her missions and goals.
My mom is always there at every pageant. She's driving me around, and no matter what, I know that she's going to be the loudest in the audience.
I support her in all of what she does, if it's pageant or community service, by just being there for her, being her moral support, and just helping her to do all the little things that sometimes she needs to get done. I'm very proud of Gia because she's taken something that she's liked and she loves, that's her passion of reading, and she's using it as her platform, and she's able to use that platform in a bigger stage.
As a young avid reader, Ajani has witnessed a decline in reading among students.
Students don't read for fun, they only have to read for classes. And so as a title holder, my mission is to get these students to read and get them interested in reading, whether that's through using social media platforms such as Instagram or going into local libraries and high schools and talking to students about how they are not interested in reading, how they can get interested in reading is what I plan to do.
For KCBY, I'm Preeti Gandra.
CHS junior Johnny Meyer qualified for the Mixed Voice All-State Choir last year, a rare accomplishment for which only 224 students statewide are selected each year.
But alongside his love for singing, Johnny also plays an important role on the wrestling team. Samantha takes us through how he juggles these two passions.
Johnny Meyer, a junior at CHS, has just entered his second year participating in the mixed voice level of the All-State Choir National Competition. Johnny was first placed into the Mixed Voice All-State Choir Competition last year as a sophomore, and this became a very significant achievement in his choir career. However, despite Johnny's intense choir life, he also juggles an athletic presence while being part of the Cowboy wrestling team. Johnny explains how he balances his extracurriculars and how juggling them has impacted his performance in wrestling and choir.
I work on usually my athletic life in the morning, and I reserve the afternoon for my choir life. My performance in choir is impacted by wrestling because by the fact that sometimes I don't get as much practice, or I have to even miss entire meets because of my concerts, and vice versa. Sometimes I have to miss concerts because of meets.
Mr. Coronado, Johnny's choir director, tells us about Johnny's performance and the value he brings to the program.
Most of the students who make it in the All-State Choir are juniors and seniors just because they have the experience of auditioning, and they also have just a maturity of voice. Johnny has been an extremely talented singer from before we even had him here at high school. He has an amazing voice, he has a great personality, he loves to work hard, and these are all things that you need to really excel, in choir, in life, but also in the All-State audition process.
Coach Lowry, Johnny's wrestling coach, describes his experience with working with Johnny and his ability to combat all of his extracurriculars at once.
Johnny is in both choir and wrestling, and we have to share him. So there was times that he would have to miss wrestling, and I'm sure there was times that he would have to miss choir. But he did a real good job of keeping up with that. So Johnny, he knows that he wants to get better, and he was able to do that. So he, like I said, good self-awareness and good grit and his ability to work hard.
For KCBY, I'm Samantha Gelman.
Let's head to the sidekick for the latest from Coppell Student Media.
Thanks, Diksha. This week on Coppell Student Media, read Ashi Panchal's story on the board voting against the consolidation of Town Center Elementary School, read Tarini Murthy's story on Coppell High School students working part-time, and read Pranavi Ramaneni's feature on English teacher Courtney Farrell. The Sidekicks Issue 2 is now out on campus news racks, so please make sure to pick up a copy. Now, back to the studio.
Thanks, Hugh. And now to Akshita with the buzz.
Beloved movie and furry friend Paddington has been adapted into a musical in London. Paddington is a bear that originated in the 1950s on Christmas Eve. The first movie was released almost 11 years ago, and the other two sequels followed years after. This show is filled with catchy songs and dazzling choreography, sure to leave the audience wanting more, while sparking worldwide excitement one day at a time. On another note, last Thursday, the official trailer for the Netflix original series Stranger Things Season 5 was released. With the last season coming out almost 5 years ago, this has been an anticipated wait for all fans. Everyone is left anxious, wondering who will be left on the death agenda. One popular inference is character Steve Harrington, a fan favorite. The creators of the show, the Duffer Brothers, also announced that the season finale will be premiering in select theaters across the country on New Year's Eve. You won't want to miss this upcoming release. As we jump into November, singer and songwriter Mariah Carey makes her yearly debut referencing her iconic song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Mariah posts this reference every November 1st, getting her fans ready for the holidays. This video follows her hitting her iconic high note, singing It's Time, progressively getting higher each year as she sings it. If you're spending the holidays in Las Vegas, be sure to check out her annual Christmas show running from November 28th to December 13th at the MGM Grand. That's all for this week. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Akshita, and finally to sports for all things Coppell Athletics.
Hi, I'm Sophie Lasagna, and this is CSPN. With the new season beginning, the boys basketball team has been hard at work to train into the best versions of themselves. Dev has the story.
After a long and tough offseason, the Coppell boys basketball team is ready to finally get on the court and compete. Head coach Ryan Murphy and returning varsity athletes Colin Griffith and Sibu Sox described the preparation for the season.
We've really heavily focused on defense and transition. We think that if we can get stops, get out in transition, get some easy baskets, that'll kind of help us build some momentum. And then at the end of the day, we've just tried to make us as tough of a team as possible.
In these past few months leading up to the season, we've been working in the weight room, getting stronger, working together, building like chemistry and all those things.
We've came together a lot more, talking together, working a lot harder just defensively, offensively, and just buying into the whole program.
Boys basketball hasn't made the playoffs since the 2021 season, but this year's team is hoping to make a change.
We want to win district, make playoffs. It's been a long time since basketball's made playoffs, so we're trying to change that.
The big goals for the team this season is obviously to make a deep playoff run, hopefully win state.
They're the same goals every year. You want to compete for a district championship and you want to make a deep playoff run.
There is a clear identity for this team, and the entire program is bought into being the toughest and fastest paced team day in and day out.
I hope that we can just be a hardworking team. It doesn't matter who we play, what night it is, what happened in practice that morning. We come out and we play our hardest.
I think our identity this year is just to be able to play harder than other teams for longer, because the way we've been working this offseason, no other team's doing it, and I don't think they could keep up for as long as we can go.
For KCBY, I'm Dev Sharma.
Now that we've gotten news from our varsity boys, Jay sits down with new girls varsity basketball head coach Kit Pell to learn about his plans for the team.
Coach Pell stepped into his new role as the new head girls basketball coach, leading the team for the upcoming season.
Really just the opportunity to work with kids again. It is, I was a head coach for a long time, and these last few years in the athletic director role. Not having a team of my own and not having a staff that I got to work with, it was kind of a lonely job. So the opportunity to work with kids and have those relationships again and have a staff and have those relationships on a daily basis, very exciting for me.
I think they love it, I just talking from a few of them and then just seeing how things run, they're so much more serious this year. There's a lot more intent behind a lot of our girls this year, which last year was kind of wavering.
It's nice having a coach who has the same goal for us and the same level of passion that we all have for the sport, and it's just really nice to see somebody who cares equally about it.
His passion for coaching and his ability to connect with the team has made him a loved and respected member of the program.
I have an aggressive coaching style, but nonetheless, I feel like if athletes know you love them, they'll work really hard for you.
There are a lot of things that are reinforced, especially the little things that are every day that we try to reinforce to create the culture that we want.
He's fit in the role really well, and I think we've adopted him really quickly. He expects a high level of competition and commitment from us, which I think is really helpful.
It's not just the girls that have accepted him. Coach Pell brings more on how he found his place here at Coppell.
The most surprising is how much fun they are to coach. They really enjoy each other's company. They really enjoy our program, and they're really doing a lot to build the culture of their program, and they put a ton of energy into that.
For KCBY, I'm Jay Jari.
That's all for CSPN. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Sophie, and now we honor our Teacher of the Week.
This week, we present Mr. Bruce Stewart with our Teacher of the Week.
Mr. Stewart is always motivating his students in class and provides a great learning environment. Thank you so much for your continuous support of our program. We are grateful for all that you do.
That's all for KCBY this week.
We'll see you next week, CHS. Thanks for tuning in.